Good morning, noon, or night. My name is Jet, and welcome to my channel, JITV. This one's going to be about why people can't be honest with what they actually want and what they actually need. What we as souled individuals, meaning the people who have the capacity for love, or understand love, or have ever understood love, or ever been capable of understanding love. What we want is love. Nothing else is going to be able to fill that void. We need love. And we live in systems that are not just like a little bit not love, but they are devoid, further and further being separated from love. So people can't be honest for a few different reasons that I've noticed about what they need, and it's love. A big one is fear of rejection. They're afraid they're going to need the love and want the love and not get the love, which is an understandable fear if you're looking for love from someone else. The most high frequency is love. It's what's our eternal self. No one can take that from you without you giving it. And there's a whole lot of traps and systems in place that are there to deceive you out of your love that you possess and you are capable of. Another thing is, love has a set of rules, a set of parameters. Love brings joy, peace, kindness, compassion, self-control, all of those things. That's what love will bring. These systems that are in place are encouraging you to do things that will be the opposite of that. Bad behavior is rewarded in these systems. When people say it's just business, what they're doing is excusing their bad behavior and poor decisions, their decisions against love, excusing it so that they can continue to do it. The problem is, you can't get out of your consciousness. Like, you can't lie to love. That's the thing about it. So people will pretend that they don't need love, and they will intentionally reject love because they think that they want to continue to do these behaviors that are in direct opposition to love. You cannot do those behaviors and conduct your entirety of your life in opposition to love, and then get the love and the peace, the kindness, joy, contentment, happiness, self-control. Those all come from love. So if you are living in opposition to love, then you can't have the things of love, which are love. So as a souled individual, being capable of love and knowing what love is, and experiencing it even just as a child, and now it's gone because things have gotten so awful and bad due to these systems and your mind and your body trying to take control over your eternal self. A lot of people will reject love or pretend they don't need it because they know all of those things, and they know that they're not doing what they need to do to have love. So they'll reject it and say they don't want it simply because they think that they don't want to change their actions, and they don't want to change their mind, and they think that this is who I really am. Talking about being like going out and partying all the time, I mean, blacking out. I did all that. I can tell you right now that what I'm telling you is from my own personal experience. So you really think that you're some worldwide partier and that's your identity and that's who you are, or you're, you know, an open relationship couple and, you know, that's who you really are, that's how you express yourself. A lot of these things come down to self-expression. The word hypocrite comes from the term in Greek for actor, acting, pretending, lying. So these things that we think are ourselves that are in opposition to love, that are the opposite of love, which is joy, peace, kindness, happiness, those are what's making you a hypocrite. You think you're a big boss of a big company and that means something. You think, you know, you're the best school teacher of the district, or you've made $3 million and so you're this, that, or the other. Those are all facades, and those are all what makes you and keeps you a hypocrite. I'm not saying that you can't have money and not intentionally go against love. I'm saying it's very rare because the systems themselves that are in place are anti-love. These systems that are in place are anti-love, meaning love is freedom. So you want to identify with these different things that are in opposition of love. It's an act, and it's fake, and it's fakeness, and it's stopping you from getting what you actually really want and what you really need. It's deceptive. These systems are deceptive. Your mind and your body are deceptive. So the other lie that gets us to go against love and say we don't need it or don't want it, and this is, I think, the worst one, personally, because it's the most logical. It makes sense to our minds that once we've become damaged and hurt, and we've been hurt so bad, there's a thing that comes in that says, if you just close up your heart, you won't get hurt as bad the next time, or you won't get hurt anymore. If you just cut yourself off from love, then you'll be safer, and you will not be able to be hurt as badly. But what that's doing is you are cutting yourself off from your actual power. Your real power is love. Okay? It's the most high frequency. It's the most high everything. It gives you all these things that people say they want, that we say we put value on, that we say we want for our children. Joy, peace, happiness, contentment. And all of these things are not dependent on material things. Once you get love, you don't care about material things. So, you know, I do as well. There's a man, he said, I know what it is to have plenty, and I know what it is to not have what I need. And I am content either way. And that's what happens when you have love. So who would benefit from us not having love? Us as in the general population. Who would benefit from that? The people who would benefit from that would be everybody who owns stake in anything to do with any of these systems. Because they benefit from us being separated from our power. Because then we're weak and we're in fear. The further away from love you get, the more fear you will receive. Until you go so far and you've cut love off so almost completely that you have sociopathic and psychopathic traits. Fear is here. We have fear to keep us safe. Our capacity for fear is there to keep us safe. It's totally out of control with most people at this point in time. It's there to keep us safe for if a tiger comes running at us, we get scared and we know to run. Everybody knows about fight or flight. People's fight or flight are going off constantly, constantly. And that is a symptom of being separated from love. And if you're a souled individual, which means you understand love and love love, you're trying to operate in a bunch of systems that are anti-love, in opposition to you and who you are, and they hate you. If you love love, you are hated without cause by these systems, because you are the one who is stronger than them. You are the one who doesn't need them. So these systems, they need us, but we don't need them. So having a fear of rejection, and not wanting to comply with the rules that love has placed. You can't be envious and greedy and selfish and lusty and all of those things and get love. You can't do it. You will receive, if you don't understand these things, and no one told you, which I'm betting 90% of people, 95% of people have no idea about the rules of reality, and this is what's happening and how it's structured, you can make a whole lot of mistakes and go in opposition to love, be doing the opposite of what love is. That's the natural order of every system here. And you will still be alive. You may have bad things happen, but there is a grace keeping you safe while you learn the system and figure out what's going on. We got thrown into a game that no one told us the rules, and not only did they not tell us the rules, but they are intentionally hiding the rule book from us. And then also they are writing a new rule book and putting fake pieces, real parts in with fake pieces, because the best way to tell a lie is to make it 95% true and 5% fake. That's the best way to tell a lie. So they're actually running a disinformation campaign against the rules of this reality. This is a war on love. If you break it down from the micro to the macro, everything that's happening is a war against love. And if you are choosing to participate on the other side of love, you are an enemy by default to love. You are anti-love, and you're going to lose. It's not a game that you want to lose, because love is the superpower, and it's trying to constantly recalibrate you to get you back to it. Just like your GPS. You type in an address. I learned this when I was going to my niece's house. I typed in an address, and my dad told me, oh, don't take that one exit. Just go around and take 117th. So that was, the GPS tried to put me off 3 exits before 117th. So for 7 more miles, that GPS was recalibrating. Every time I could come to a turn, it was recalibrating and trying to get me back to that location. That is what love is trying to do for you. Every time you make a decision and it's opposite of love, it's going to recalibrate you. It give you another choice to keep going to that direction, to get to that location. Because love is love. If you are a souled individual, that's where you came from. That's where you're going back to. Not one drop of love is going to be lost. Not one person. What's going to happen is all the people that haven't figured this out, all the people of love that come from love that haven't figured this out, there are going to be extreme circumstances that will force you to choose whether you want to love and be of love and have the things that love is trying to get you, or you can choose hate, fear, pride, greed, and envy. Because everybody has to make a decision. And it's coming down to the time where it's like when you flush a toilet and the water goes and it starts spinning really fast before the new comes in. That's what the nature of reality is. That's the part we're in, is when it's going really, really fast. And it's going to become more drastic and more drastic and more drastic and more obvious about what love is and what love isn't, and what side you want to choose. That's what we have our free will for. You can choose love and get the gifts of love, or you can choose anti-love, opposite of love, and you are not going to move on to the next level. When you flush a toilet and it starts to go really fast, there's new water coming in at the same time it's starting to go and flush really, really fast. So there are people here that understand this, that understand more in depth about the nature of reality, and those people are here to tell people that now is your time to make a decision, what side you want to pick. And the thing about it is, most people are just like waiting to choose love for prideful reasons, because we don't like to admit when we're wrong, and we don't like to eat crow, because to get love, you have to acknowledge that you were not. You didn't know what you were doing, really, but now you see, and you want love, okay? But you have to kind of acknowledge that the things you were doing were not right, nor had they been right, and you hurt a lot of people, and you hurt yourself, and people don't want to admit that they've done wrong. But the time is coming where you have to admit it. There's no getting around that. I've watched 4 people on their deathbeds now. They say things and think about things that other times people they don't discuss and they don't talk about. Because what's happening is you're out of time. You're out of time. Now you have to deal with the love thing. Are you going to choose love? And love will take you any second of any day, of any time. It's not judgmental. It's not, that's a bad word. It's not condemning, okay? Love does not condemn. It does not make you feel this big and like you want to go down in a hole and never come out again. Love will convict you. It will convict you that you are doing things that are in opposition to love. That's what right and wrong is. Right is when you're living for love, and wrong is when you're living for opposite, anti-love, greed, selfishness, lust, greed, envy, wanting everybody else's stuff. So any single time, you don't have to wait till your deathbed to decide to choose love. Because once you choose love, it may hurt, and it may be uncomfortable, and it may give you what is known as an existential crisis. It may give you what is known as imposter syndrome. It may give you a slew of other terms that the mental health industry has labeled different symptoms. But you're going to have to do it before you die, because you can't get to where you need to go without doing it. So I would just encourage everybody to do it now. Do it now so you can get what you really want, and your life can be, what's left of it can be good while you're here, and you can have joy, peace, happiness, contentment, regardless of any circumstances that you are experiencing. Do you want to be in extreme poverty or anything like that? Like, no, you don't want to. But once you understand love, You will be shown that love is eternal. That's never ending, eternal. They have proven that you cannot create or destroy energy in this reality. They can't create it, they can't destroy it. We, as human beings, as mankind, we cannot do that. Love is the most high. If you can't create it and you can't destroy it, what's happening then? I've seen people leave their bodies. I've been there for several times when people, they're in their body and they're communicating and functioning, and then they're out of their body, and their body turns into a bag of flesh, and it's going to rot, so we bury it in the ground. Where did they go? So there's perfectly good explanations for all of those things. They've been hidden and disguised and lied about, because everything, I'm sorry whatever this sounds like to people, but these systems and different things that are operating are in direct opposition to love. That is what's happening. Even your own mind and body, your animalistic instinct and natures are in opposition to the real you that's in here, to the eternal you. So there's a perfectly good explanation of how that happened. I'm not going to discuss that at this point. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can without saying trigger words to people. That's why when I say souled individual, I'm talking about your animating life force, your capability of understanding love. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's painful to our mind and our body to admit that we need love and we want to be of love and with love. But the sooner that you admit it and you acknowledge it and you accept it, the sooner you can be reunited with love. And that is the ultimate goal of our existence here, is to be reunited with love. And then I'm not going to discuss that any further right now at this moment either. But there is a very good explanation for what's happening, why it's happening, and we have free will. We have free will. Without the option to choose to do bad, which is opposite of love, without that option, there's no free will. We have free will to choose to choose love, joy, peace, happiness, contentment. We choose love, or we choose to align not with love. Okay? The whole time, us as souled individuals have the capacity for love. The whole time we're not choosing love, because all of us are doing it. We're not choosing love. We are being recalibrated to choose love. But every time we learn a little bit more, So if you didn't know it all, like a teenager, they don't know their punishment, where they're going to drive through, I guess, like their punishment is going to be less severe than if you're 40 years old and you have been shown plenty of information about why you should choose love, and you still just keep choosing not to do it. The punishment is going to be more severe because it's a chastening. It's not a punishment on its own. It's a chastening. A chastening is when your small child does something that they're not supposed to do, like go and yoink the cat's tail up, or kick the dog, or throw things at little animals, or other children. You have to chasten them and teach them not to do that anymore. So we are being chastened to stop doing anti-love stuff, because we are of love, we come from love, that's where we're going to return. And every time we do that other stuff, it's bad for us. Bad things happen. Because that's not us. A butterfly is not going to be happy doing what a snake does, okay? Butterflies are never ever going to be content with doing what a snake does. So you see this butterfly roaming around trying to pretend to be a snake, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, do you even see how ridiculous you look? Okay? You keep messing around as a butterfly trying to be that snake. you're going to get what you ask for. You're going to become the snake. And the snake is not eternal. Love is eternal and it's everlasting. The other one is not. There will be an end to this opposite of love. Without that opposite of love, we would not have free will. So, I love you all, and I hope any of that made any sense to anybody. I'm going to work on the format and how I'm trying to get this information across. But I really wanted to get it out, and I'm just going to keep banging the love drum. I'm aware of what some people are calling themselves. I can't say those words because it's gonna... So anyway, what we all are, whatever things you're having happen to you and this, that, and the other, we are souled individuals. That's what we are. We're no more and no less, and it's perfect. We come from love, we are love, and we will return to love. The systems hate us. That doesn't really matter. You still have to choose love. I don't... Oh, so you're here to tell me that evil hates goodness? You know, if someone would have just flat out told me that, my life would have been a lot easier from the jump. If you care about what's right and you care about love, then the majority of the people in this age are going to hate you without cause. Don't let that stop you from choosing love, because that's what we want and that's what makes us happy. That's what's going to make you strong. Love is the real strength here. Love is the real currency. They're tricking people into using their real currency of love to buy fake ass currency. So don't do that. Be aware that that's what's happening. The trap is hot. Every trap is hot. And that's all I wanted to say. And much love to all, and thank you.